one of the first things I did working with tape is I went to a screening of Scarlet, which is kind of a prequel to Emmy, Myself and I, and so that's kind of when I first met Tom, and then through working with tape we kind of became like working together every day and got to know each other, and I kind of gave some guidance on the first script and helped with the first episode. So episode 1 was a tape project. So the way tape works is that people of all ages and backgrounds can come in and learn how to make films. They get hands-on with the cameras and lighting, acting within the film. Chloe had come through tape. She'd been to several of tape projects, and that's how she'd been cast as the main character in the show. And it was a really, really great process. It was really positive to see all the people come together, people we'd seen work through tape in different projects and different roles, and then kind of make this little special 10-minute first episode of a web series. It was great. So some of the challenging things within the first episode for filming are things that are very common in low budget like short films, which is you film in real locations which are not normally particularly easy to film in, because rooms end up being really small, and even if you're filming a very close-up shot of someone on a bed, you still need to get camera, lights, crew, the sound crew in there, and that gets really tight really easily. And then trying not to cast shadows because everyone's squeezed into one room, so trying to work out how to still get the shot that Tom wanted, but kind of like limit the crew in that for that one scene, and also trying not to put off the actors, because when you've got a new actor sat on a bed trying to give a really poignant speech, and there's 6 people in a crowded room with a bright light, and then saying action, can be quite daunting. So I guess the challenges are always budget, time restraints, and filming in real locations can be quite challenging. Yeah, I mean, it was very different, the second episode. I was really happy that Tape and myself could get involved and continue that story, because as with any kind of, not even with Tape, but just with low budget films, there are a million great directors with scripts in their drawers that'll never get made, and things just kind of go out. So it's always exciting to see somebody's vision continue and to be fulfilled, because more than not, great ideas eventually kind of just disappear, as I'm sure Tom will say with Scarlet. It was supposed to be multiple series, and it kind of like stalled on season 1 because of funding and time and things like that. So yeah, it was really nice and exciting to see the story progress. Well, I guess the first hurdle was that it was no longer a Tape project in a lot of ways. So it's trying to work out how Tape could facilitate that and get involved. And obviously, in an ideal world, we with what we do, we just jump in and do everything we can. But we're obviously a charity, and funding is tight, and anything you give time to takes time away from something else. So we had to make sure that it was that our involvement was done correctly. There was some funding that was brought down for the second episode that was going to be still a Tape project and continuing on. So we worked out that there was X amount of money in our budget that we could help Tom with the completion of the second episode. So we had like a chat about how how tape would be best utilized. So there was ideas of helping with the post-production side of it. There was ideas of helping with mastering sound, things like that. Obviously, we want to get people involved all the time, and so what we did was we decided to take one day of filming that the tape crew came down, which was me and Kirsten, and we brought some of tape's volunteers and participants and spent a whole day over with Tom to kind of to put together episode 2. And it was exciting, and it was kind of nice to not to kind of show you behind the curtain too much, but obviously when me and Tom worked together before, I was kind of a lead of a project and would be giving advice and telling what I think. That was the same on the same day. It didn't lose that magic, but I definitely felt like I was somebody there as an assistant rather than kind of like a person taking, running things or organizing things. It was quite nice. It was quite nice to see Tom be a director and know what he wanted, and kind of stand back a little bit. It was really nice. I guess personal highlight, I really liked how the poster turned out. I thought that in the first episode, there was lots of different elements, and I'm not particularly a special effects person. I've just kind of learned bits here and there, and I'm more of a traditional editor. But I think it kind of really feels like it is there in the world, but also has a real tone to it. So on a personal level, that's what I was happy that I'd done, that I was happy about. As a project, I think just seeing Chloe evolve in the role, and just see somebody that I'd worked with on multiple projects, and is just such a person that can be very vulnerable but also extremely enthusiastic and excited to do something. So being able to see her have something that, even though it's Tom's, it is hers, and that she feels this connection to it, and getting all, and then that kind of rolling out to people she's never met, saying, is this someone with ME? Is this a documentary? Which is bizarre because it's a talking poster, but people believing in her character enough that they think that she's not an actor, that she's just giving real experiences. That's, for an actor, that's the best you can get, isn't it? So I think that as a total project, that's the thing that I think is the best thing about it. Well, I think it's twofold what I wanted to achieve. Obviously, the main thing is that it brings awareness to the condition, because I think knowing Tom, I learned a lot about ME. The first film, there was things that, even though I knew Tom, we'd had conversations about ME, and obviously I'd read the script, there was still new stuff that came out in every part of it, from the filming of it to the editing of it, and then even within the second one, even though my role has been more actor than creative input, I still learn new things about ME that I didn't know. So I guess the hope is that it does that. It informs people so that people have a better understanding there. Because even there are people who obviously don't give a monkeys, and hopefully they'll start to care more. But there's also the people that are really compassionate but still don't understand it as a condition. So hopefully it does that. And the second thing is that I hope that it helps all the people that are involved in it, from behind the camera, in front of the camera, to continue their dreams, like what they want to do. If they want to be, get more acting work that they can use us. If they want to make, Tom's a very talented writer who has done lots of different things, from comic books to shorts and things like that. So hopefully it'll give him some standing in the world, so that he can do things outside of this really important show about a condition, where he can, he's got a lot of passions outside of ME, and I hope that it progresses to allow him to do those things.